Hello and welcome to Caribbean Financial Network News. We are live here at the North American International Auto Show for 2018, and today in this segue we're here with Autoliv of Sweden. This is a very interesting company because, little to your knowledge, they're everywhere in your car, but you don't see them. So I have two experts here with me. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir, to Caribbean Financial Network News?
Pontus Soderstrom. I work with Autoliv here in North America with airbags and seatbelts.
And sir, you are?
And Mohammed Al-Sadawi, Autoliv North America, and I'm in charge of advanced technology sales.
Okay. For all of us in the Caribbean, could you tell us who Autoliv is, what it does, and where we will find Autoliv in the car? I'll start with you, sir.
Autoliv is a company that started in the early 50s making seatbelts for Volvo to start with, and then we have spread around the world, and now we make seatbelts and airbags, safety electronics such as the control module that deploys the airbags, and we make radar sensors, vision sensors, and night vision sensors for the future autonomous vehicles as well.
Okay. All right. Did you leave anything out?
So.
Just kidding.
Maybe that we expanded into the brake and controls modules as well. So you could think of us as the safety leader in the market. Our concern is the lives of the occupants and the drivers of the vehicles. So we went from airbags, seat belts, steering wheels, passive safety is what we call that. We went on to active safety with radars, cameras, and so on, and night vision as well. And then we expanded into brakes.
Okay then. Wow. So I'll find you in my brake system. I'll find you in my sensors around the car. Mm-hmm. Where else in the car?
The easiest place to find us would be when you put the seatbelt on and when you hold on to the steering wheel and look at the driver airbag right in front of you. Those are all Autoliv products.
Oh wow. And what's in the background that we don't see going on?
So what you wouldn't see is probably our cameras, our radars. You wouldn't see our airbag unless, in the unfortunate event of an accident. But you could always rely on Autoliv and our products since we're a market leader, that you're going to have at least one or two of our products helping save you in a situation where you get into an accident. So we're there everywhere, all around the vehicle.
You're not reporting back to Jeff Bezos, are you, about what we buy, when we buy it, and how we buy it, really? Yeah? You're just strictly there to protect us.
We're just there to protect.
Okay.
Save lives, that's what we pride ourselves in. Oh. Saving more lives is our mission statement as a company.
And so, what do you do on a regular day-to-day basis for Autoliv?
I work together with our sales teams to sell products to Fiat Chrysler mainly, new technology, get them interested in new safety ideas and implement that into vehicles.
And sir, what exactly is your specialty and how does that work in terms of getting into the vehicles?
So my role is the same as Pontus's, but it's working with Ford. And our focus is mainly on passive safety. Again, the airbags, the seat belts, the steering wheels, and we focus on, today, because we're advanced, we focus on autonomous vehicle and how do we restrain an occupant that's not in what we call a traditional seating configuration. So once we go autonomous, all the OEMs are talking about the seat being rotated, rotating in different angles, and that's where we're coming in to help provide the restraint and save lives for the occupants.
So let's do a little rain check here. If we go autonomous, Autoliv loses what? The steering wheel? What else do they lose?
Not necessarily. We believe that there probably will be some means of steering the vehicle, even if the vehicle is autonomous. It's just not going to be right in front of you. It might retract into the instrument panel or something like that. Mm-hmm. You still will need to have some form of safety system, because even if the car is autonomous, there's still for many, many years going to be vehicles on the road that are not autonomous. And it's that conflict between having people driving cars and autonomously driven cars that probably will still cause accidents for quite some time forward. So we don't really think that we're going to lose that much products going forward here.
Okay, well, speaking of specific incidences and products, many of you in the Caribbean will not know about the airbags, and that we had an issue with a company called Takata where the airbags were exploding. They had little pieces inside them and they were basically causing fatalities. You had a little story to tell me about the testing of the materials for the deployment of the airbags. Can you tell me what was the scenario that Autoliv was presented with and why they declined?
Well, in the early 2000s, there was a lot of cost pressure on airbags, and we were asked by our customers to evaluate new lower-cost propellants for our airbags, and we did so. We looked at the propellants that we were told to look at and found that they were not up to the standards that we have set internally. So we stepped away from those particular propellants and developed our own propellant that fulfills our requirements, and that's what we're still using, and with good success. Our airbags work very well.
Any recalls?
I think everybody has recalls of some sort, but they haven't been caused by propellants or anything like what we have seen in the market yet. Knock on wood. You never know what's going to happen.
Yes. So one up for Autoliv and several. How many cars Takata's got on recall? Would you say it will run into the millions?
Oh yes, multi-million.
Wow. I'm speechless as to the idea of an airbag deploying and it likely killing me is just frightening to even think of.
It's frightening to us as well. We particularly don't like to use the word explosives or explosion in our business. The whole idea with an airbag is to have a controlled combustion of the propellant. An explosion is a catastrophe. That's not something that we want to have. And what has happened in the business is obviously very bad for all of us, and particularly for Takata and for the people that have been hurt.
Mm-hmm. Well, we move onward, we move forward. Can you tell us about the next 5 years with Autoliv and the future of its technologies of saving lives? What's the future looking like?
It's looking very good. We're in a very good position today, and we expect to be, again, we are a market leader. Mm-hmm. We have the largest market share when it comes to safety components. We're working on products like you see around here, where we're taking the initiative to think ahead for the OEMs. The biggest challenge is autonomous today. Lots of companies are out there are working on the sensors,
like ADAS,
yes,
lane assist,
and we're in that business as well.
Yeah.
Just happens that we're part of the passive safety division. So on our part, we're working on how do we restrain the occupant in those situations. You asked earlier if there's going to be accidents. We believe that there will be, at least for the future that we can see so far. And our job is to figure out a way to restrain and protect occupants, prevent fatalities, and reduce injuries.
Well said. Well, that concludes our segment for the North American International Auto Show with Autoliv. We will be back with more information about the technologies in the automotive industry. Until then, we'll be right back, and stay tuned for more information.